Welcome you all. In this video, we are going to see about Spring Boot Web MVC demo part 1. To start with this, we will launch the Spring Boot application. What we are going to do in this is we are going to create the Spring Boot application. After creating the Spring Boot application, we will use our controller class inside the Spring Boot application to demonstrate these points. Now the application got opened in the STS4 IDE. Let we create our first Spring Boot application. Let we click on File, New, Spring Startup Project, and let we ensure the application name as EX7 and the type of the application is Maven, Java version 17, packaging jar, language Java. Let we have a group as com.klu, artifact ex7, and then the package also as com.klu. Next, let we create the application with basic dependencies Spring Web and Spring Boot Dev Tool. These two for creating the basic Spring Boot web application, and I am going with Spring Web, Spring Boot Dev Tool. Suppose if you are not getting it here, you can type and search here to select the dependencies. Now I'm going to next and finish. Let me create the application. You can note the buffer is going on the right bottom corner and that need to be 100% to create the application fully. This application is now partial. Let me wait for the 100%. Now the application got created. Let me click on this arrow so that we can able to find src main Java. So in this src main Java, we can write our classes under com.klu. We can note one default file came into com.klu. This file have a basic and default code for Spring Boot application. You can able to note at the rate Spring Boot application. This exactly says this application which we created is a Spring Boot application. And if you move your mouse cursor over that, you can able to see number of annotations here. That means one annotation Spring Boot application is a combination of all these annotations which are listed when you move your mouse cursor over that. And let me create our first controller class. And to understand the controller class, it is the class responsible for user interaction. So I'm going to create the first controller class by right clicking com.klu and new class. Class name is app controller. Once the controller class got created, actually this is a normal class which I created and it is not a controller class unless I say at the rate controller. Just use control space and you will get the annotation called at the rate controller. If you pick that, it will automatically get imported from the package which we already given while creating the project. And now the class becomes a controller class. and it is responsible for user interaction. Let me create our first function, public int fun1, and let me look at our question to see what we need to do now. Our first task, create a method that map to URL demo1 and returns an integer. So we need to map the first function to demo1 URL. Every function can be called with its name, but here the controller function can be called with the URL, and we can call it by using the get mapping. Inside get mapping, I will say demo1 slash demo1. Whenever there is an occurrence of slash demo1, it will call the function fun1, which will return an integer value. I will say return 10. Now, this return 10 should directly go to the browser. That means whatever I am returning in line number 11 should be the direct response. I have to make that as a response by making at the rate response body. So 10 will become the body part of the response. Now, let me check this in the browser. Before checking this, in my system, the port 8080 is busy. The default running port is 8080. So I need to change the port in the configuration. How to do that? src main resources, in that application.properties. Inside application.properties, you can able to see the application name in the first line. Let me write one more line. Server dot port equal to 8081. That means now it will run in the port http colon http://localhost 8081. Our application will run in this port when I run it. So I will save this. Now I will go back to my app controller. My app controller is ready. Let me to check it. How to check it? I have to right click the EX7 project and go to run as Spring Boot application. Spring Boot app is having integrated server to run this application. Now I will click on Spring Boot app. So now you can able to see the Spring Boot application got started, and in the right side it is saying Tomcat started on the port 8081 with the path slash. That means the application got started. Now let me double click the console. It will go down, and still you can able to see the application is running, and there is a stop button here to stop the application whenever you require. Now let me open a browser, and we will give localhost 8081 slash demo1. We can able to see the output 10. That means the integer value is returned successfully. Our next task, let me create another function which will trigger as demo2 and returns a double value. Just I'm going to copy this function which I created, and I will paste it. Still my server is running. Okay. I will paste it and change the get mapping to demo2, and then fun1 to fun2, and then the integer to double. Then I will return a double value and I save the app controller class, which will automatically reset the console. That means Spring Boot server. Now let me go to the browser and check with demo 2. You can able to get 10.5 as the output. Now our third point, when we say demo 3, we need to return a HTML formatted string. So to do that, I will copy this function once again. I will paste it. I will remove this response body this time because I'm going to call the HTML file which is in another location. I don't want to return directly to the browser window. I will call the file name which will return the output to the browser window. I will change the return type to string and demo2 to demo3 and fun2 to fun3. Then I will say return first.html. Now the question is, if I remove response body, it will search for first.html file instead of returning first.html to the browser window. Now, where is the first.html file? We have to create that file under web app folder. The web app folder should be inside src and main, but there is no folder, so we will create one folder under main as web app. Once we created the web app folder, this is the default location where the controller class will look for the file. Now right click the web app and new file. The file name is first.html. Inside the file, you just create a sample HTML document. Now the file is got created. This file is named as first.html and in app controller I return first.html, and this function is not having response body. That means it will look for the file. Now let me stop the server once and we have to restart it because we changed the files under web app. Now right click the project and run as Spring Boot app. Make sure you have saved all the changes you had done and just go to your browser and give slash demo3. You can able to get the page which you designed. Now let me go for the next point. Create a method that maps to the URL demo4 using get mapping. Initialize the KLEF with the string iSteady at. I'm just copying the fun2 and I will paste it once again. I will change the double as string and fun2 as fun4, demo2 as demo4, and I will just say I steady at plus you need to return the value KLF. How to return the value? Initialize a string KLF and concatenate with that. So I'm just going to initialize the string univ equal to KLEF, and I will just concatenate univ with this, and I'm returning a demo 4. Now just go to your browser and give slash demo 4. You can able to get iSteady at space KLF. Now the next point, create a method that maps to the URL demo5 slash ID. You need to get the ID value and you need to return the ID value to the browser. Now I'll just copy this demo 4, paste it once again, change it to demo 5, and then slash flower brace of ID. That means you are expecting some value to come in here and you are receiving that in the name of ID. That you have to receive inside fun5 parameters. You should have int ID first, then you should receive it. How to receive it? You have to use at the rate path variable. Path variable is there, path param is there. Path param is for question mark based things. Path variable is what we are using it now. Path variable of variable value, that means variable name is ID, and the value will be assigned to this ID. Now I need to return that ID. Just one line is enough. Return ID, but ID should be a string. So I'm just concatenating with empty double quotes that will convert the ID as a string. Now go to your browser and say slash demo5 slash 10. You will get the 10 as output. This slash 10 is going to assign for ID, and that ID you are getting as the output. Now the next point, create a map, create the method that maps to the URL demo6 slash A and B. So you need to get two values in the URL now and return the sum of the two values as string. That means I'll just copy this fun5 and change the demo5 as demo6 and ID as A and one more variable value within flower brace B. Now fun5 as fun6, then path variable of A to int A, comma, at the rate path variable of B to int B. That means I'm assigning two values to two integers. Now I will just make A plus B value, and then I will concatenate that A plus B value to the string so that my answer will be a string. I'm just saving it. I will go to my browser. I will say slash demo6 slash 10 slash 20. You will get the answer 30. This is what the output required. And the next point, you have to create slash demo 7 using get mapping, which accepts the request parameter ID. That means this time not as path variable. You should use the other way to send the parameter. Let me create the function to accept the ID value and to return the same. Let me use my function 5 so that you will feel the difference what I'm doing. Now function 5 is changed as function 7, demo 5 to demo 7. But this time I'm not going to receive ID value in the path variable like this. So I'm removing, but I will receive my value. for int id. Instead of saying path variable, I will say here path param of id, then remaining same. So what is this path param for demo 7? How to receive this id value? I will go to the browser. I will give slash demo 7. After that, I will give question mark. Then I will say the name as id equal to, I will say the id value as 100. Question mark id equal to 100. If you are having second parameter, you can use the ampersand here and you can say second parameter equal to something. But I'm having only one. So directly question mark id equal to 100. Just give enter. You will get the 100 here. That means I had received the path param value of 100 and assigned to id and return the same. Now the next question, create a method that maps to the URL demo 8 slash name. That means you have to receive the name as path variable and returns the name as a string. Very simple. Just you have to use path variable only. So I'm pasting my fifth function. I will change it to function 8 and demo 8. Instead of id, I will just say name here, then path variable of name, then instead of int id, I will say string name. Directly I can return the name because name is the string. Now let me check the demo 8. Demo 8 slash I will give my name. So I am getting my name in the output. That name which I am giving is coming to this flower brace of name, and this name exactly I mapped it here so that the value of the name is coming here and then assigned to the string name. Then I am returning the string name to the browser window. If I remove this response body, it will search for the file. Since I'm having this, it is directly going to the browser window. Now, I had done up to 8 in this video. The ninth and 10th one will be explained in the next upcoming video. I hope so. You had understood the concept of using app controller for the first 8 points. And thank you.